Near Port Alberni in British Columbia, the China Creek Micro-Hydro Project began in 2002 when the Hoopachesit First Nation focused on new forms of economic development and on an alternative energy solution to the opposed natural gas facility to service the needs of a growing population. The total cost of the China Creek project was $14 million, and annual sales have averaged $1.6 million since it began supplying power into the BC hydro grid in 2006. The primary goal of this successful project is to develop and build capacity amongst the nation that can be applied in future opportunities.
The China Creek Upnit Power project is a really exciting project for our nation. Our territory consists of about 24,000 hectares in the Port Alberni Valley, and our nation historically has been here for well over 10,000 years.
The Hoopachesit tribe continues to move towards more greener, sustainable type industries. This certainly was one that fit into that quite nicely. Taking water out of a stream for a period of time and distance and returning it back to the stream. We all have somewhat of an impact on Mother Earth, but certainly this one is very minimal in terms of the impact to the environment. In China Creek's case, the Hoopachesit First Nation owns 72.5%. 12.5% is owned by Sinex Energy, 10% is owned by Ukiulit First Nation, and the city of Port Alberni is in for 5%. But I guess what's different with this project is that the First Nation is the one essentially managing the day-to-day business. Upnit Power Corp is that entity.
The word Upnit means calm place to go, and our elders group came up with the wording, and they played a big role in the environmental monitoring end of Upnit Power Corporation also.
The geography, of course, on the west coast and certainly on Vancouver Island has its challenges, but we do have a lot of water, and it's just a matter of capturing that water and running it through a pipe, turning the turbines, which turn the generators and, of course, create the power. And once the water's gone through the turbines, then it flows back out into the creek again. This system obviously has to go through a number of processes to determine how much water you can take out of there without having any negative impact of what's in the stream. And these types of projects, believe it or not, some of us are smiling when it's raining, and raining a lot, because we know we're at maximum power. For the last couple of years, for example, we've produced between 28 and 30 gigawatts of power on an annual basis, which is good because we're obviously paid per gigawatt hour that we produce on an annual basis. And last year we're getting close to $2 million of income, which of course is significant in terms of servicing the debt as well as covering our overhead costs as operations go on an annual basis.
The city has a 5% share and a closer working partnership with Hoopachesit. And we participated with regard to transferring a lot of stream flow data that we had. We provided some in-kind support during the construction phase. We contributed to the sustainability in our community. We have now got the ability to produce in our own community almost enough power just from Upnit to power all the houses in the Alberni Valley.
That'll power about 6,000 homes, and certainly has other impacts as well in terms of the greenhouse gas emissions that you would reduce as a result of this project. It's clean green power. It doesn't take gas to run it, doesn't take oil to run it. I think many of the First Nations up and down the coast and throughout the province are well suited to take advantage of these opportunities, and you get a sustainable project at the end of the day.
I was one of the environmental monitors that were on site for the whole project, so it was pretty exciting from start to finish, seeing it completed. The opening ceremony was great, seeing all the elders and kids together and sharing a sense of accomplishment and joy within the community.
Seeing the community pull together with both the First Nation and the city together working on the project, it seems to open a lot of doors and get a lot of people interested in the project. And I think from both perspectives, there's got a lot more credibility that the two organizations are working together.
All of our experience to date has been about building capacity so that we can have members that can go from one job site to the other, for example, because a lot of these projects have a lot of similarities in terms of the machinery, and that's all about really building capacity for other opportunities that the nation is pursuing, because this is a start, for example. It's a clean, green project with minimal impact on the environment, and it'll provide some revenues and other opportunities for the nation going forward.
We're looking at numerous economic development opportunities for the nation, and we have one other clean energy project that we're in the process of developing right now.
Typically, or generally speaking, you could be anywhere from 2 to 6 years to get one of these projects off of the ground. So good due diligence on the upfront side is always the best advice I can give. We spent some time working with the Southern Interior Beetle Action Coalition and developing case studies that look at very clearly at the needs of those that are looking at these projects.
We thought this case study was really important to bring our project to the forefront so other people could learn from our successes, including other First Nations.